Welcome to Layn Turo University. I'm Conrad Layn. I'm going to share my ideologies, perspectives, and opinions, and really beliefs about the Turo luxury car marketing that is going down, is currently dying, in my personal opinion. But before you click away, let me explain so you can actually protect yourself. This is what's going on, people. So I shared another video about the economy, that we're in a state where we're in a financial state where a lot of the money's drying up. Now, maybe it'll be added to the economy, maybe unemployment will keep going on, but a lot of people have to return back to work, or they're not wanting to work because after get used to the taste of freedom, which is understandable. And a lot of people are making $3,000 to $4,000 per month, and that's changing at this point. But you can always offset yourself. And this is not meant to be a political video. It's not right or wrong. It's just simply stating what's happened. So this is the thing, people. Luxury cars and elite cars and deluxe cars, whatever you want to call them, the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, the McLarens, or even the Mercedes, all these nicer cars are luxury or deluxe. Oftentimes, yes, I'm a Los Angeles Turo agent, and there's a lot of other markets and territories that are still doing pretty well in regards to the luxury car market. So people in those markets might only understand their market, which is understandable. But across the board in all these states, a lot of markets can't support or sustain that market because either A, the income's not there, and we're in a state of financial suffering where a lot of people just don't have the money. Yes, a lot of people are on unemployment. Yes, a lot of people are being paid $3,000 to $4,000 per month from unemployment and a lot of different government funding. Which is This is not meant to be political, but that's just what happened. But a lot of that has dried up, or a lot of people don't have that money anymore, or they spent it, or they mismanaged it. Even if they saved it, it's going out, it's going down, it's being spent because unfortunately in this life, what goes up must come down. And so that's what happened. So at this point, a lot of people don't have the money that they had months ago to sustain paying that extra amount for luxury cars. So people start really trying to figure out, what do they need? What are the needs? And the needs oftentimes are commuter cars. They're economy cars. I have a Nissan Versa that I've mentioned so many times, and I'm going to mention again. Does phenomenal. It does well, and it's a very simple car. And I'm very honest and transparent about where even in the listing itself, you can check my Turo profile. I put simplicity at its finest, but it's gas efficient and gets the job done. At the end of the day, when people are in a state of financial suffering, they want what gets the job done. So you have to understand that. Yes, I'm in Los Angeles, I'm a Los Angeles Turo host. Yes, there's a market in Vegas, a market in Florida, a market in Hawaii for luxury cars and different type of cars and different tourist spots. But you have to remember, all the United States are not tourist spots, and all over the world, same thing. Turo is currently in 56 countries and counting. There's other markets and other countries that have and can sustain, because those are travel spots, but all over the country isn't a travel spot. It's not where people travel to. So in the average places, I'll call it, where people don't travel, it's just kind of like everyday living, and your demographics, really your locals. They're not going to overspend for that, and you'll be priced out. So on yes, maybe in certain territories, luxuries will do well, but across the board, for the majority, you have to figure out a different game plan. And a lot of these other markets have luxury cars, and they're just sitting there collecting dust and rusting, unfortunately. So you have to figure out, how can you actually offset this? How can you get through this? And unfortunately, this is just bound to happen. So you have to prepare yourself. And one of the best ways to prepare yourself is understand the situation you're in, first thing. Second, do your best to offset. Try to maybe consider getting other cars. I'm not saying that you have to sell them. That's if you want to, but maybe consider selling them and getting a few other cars for that same price or economies. I'm also on a hire car platform. I actually started off as a hire car owner, and I actually started there first. Then I moved over to the Turo side. I started with one car. It was a 2007 Mercedes SLK. It was great, and I made quite a bit more over it. I definitely made what it was worth and then some. So it was great, and it got my feet wet. Consider maybe diversifying, put yourself in multiple platforms. I've done that myself. I mentioned that in another video as well. But yeah, like the luxury car market, it's great. But the thing is that it just can't sustain itself across all of the states and all the different territories in the world and in the country. Yes, there'll be certain areas that will always be hot. That's just how it is. But oftentimes those hot spots are areas that people that live in their local city would not spend that money. But when they travel, it's like going to Disneyland or going to a music park, they'll all of a sudden spend more money because it's a vacation, it's an experience. Remember, Turo's about the experience. So people will pay a little extra for that experience. to understand that. So if you don't live in that type of market, you're not going to get those prices that maybe someone in LA in my territory will get, or someone that maybe in a Miami territory or Vegas territory will get. Or Hawaii, just how it is. So sometimes you have to understand your market, people. At that point, start considering the commuter car, start considering diversifying, adding some different platforms. But just make sure you don't void your contract or break your contract. You have a contract with Turo that says there's an exclusivity policy where your car can only be on Turo, which is fine. It perfectly makes sense. But so if you're going to do that, make sure your car isn't on multiple platforms. So get maybe other cars that aren't on the Turo platform, or take the car off the Turo platform and put on another one. That, like, stuff like that. You have to implement strategies like that to offset the risk of having a luxury car. That's how you do this, people. The answer to luxury cars, for those that maybe have C8s, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all these beautiful, beautiful cars, maybe very expensive AMG, Mercedes, whatever they have, and your car's starting to sit there, start considering maybe either giving that car back, selling at a loss, unfortunately, or trading it in for a few other cars, or acquiring other cars. So, like I always mention in most of my videos, that you guys can actually follow my videos, using your assets to pay off your liabilities and turn your liability into an asset. The way you do that, you purchase older cars so that you can actually invest and those pay for newer cars. And once you get that car paid off, then you actually get to the point where you actually have all those cars working for you. But if you have a car sitting there that's say $100,000 car or a luxury car, you gotta get some commuter cars in there to start paying for that car to offset that. Because luxury prices, in my personal opinion, are definitely going down across the board. Yes, there will be certain markets that will still flourish and do well, but for the most part, luxury cars, like at this time, until we get to a point where people support more traveling, and you have to understand, usually traveling, people travel outside their state or outside their country. So you should always have some commuter cars and some luxury cars as well, so they can pay for those. There's a lot of other people online that have mentioned like these tactics, so I'm not saying anything new or reinventing the wheel, but understand that that's the way I run my business. Actually, I didn't come up with this strategy. This is this is just pure math and understanding numbers and understanding that getting assets to pay off liabilities. I mean, this has been done for thousands of years, people. If you read old books where they go over the same type of strategies, it's just, so yeah, Conrad Layn might be speaking this and maybe it's coming through me. But these strategies have already been in place. Anyone can learn this. Please believe in yourself and learn how to offset luxury cars in Turo. Like, subscribe, share. Love you guys. Conrad Layn out. Peace.